How's it going, everyone? It's Alex with AC Flips. I'm going to do some reverse sourcing for you guys so you can see the exact method that I'm using to find profitable leads to flip on Amazon this December to make thousands of dollars in profit. Let's jump right in. All right, we are getting started here. I'm just going to search, products that I think we're going to be worth looking at so we can find those storefronts that we want to reverse source off of. So it's just going to be simple to go Nike, and we're going to pick any of these listings, right? We can pick a shoe listing, but then we're going to come across a lot of storefronts that probably have a ton of other shoe listings. So I'm actually going to avoid that because while we can look at shoes and there's going to be some profitable leads there, I'd rather find some clothing items. Clothing is just gets returned a little bit less than the shoes, and shipping for FBM shipping costs might be a little bit lower. Especially if we can find stuff that's going to be under a pound, we can ship it first class. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. So let's try just like this pair of socks here, right? So we're going to click the socks. We're going to wait for Seller Amp to open up. We're not going to look at this listing. We can, but $3 is going to be really hard to beat. I don't know how anyone's selling this profitably with, selling it at 16, needing to buy it for at under $3 or under 350. That's crazy. So we're going to scroll down all the way until we see the other sellers on the listing. And we're just going to go down the list here and look at all these storefronts. 22 storefronts we can go of. Actually, if we really wanted to, we can look at the FBM storefronts because chances are if they're selling one item FBM that they probably have a couple others. And this time of year, that is exactly the type of storefronts and products that we want to come in front of. So actually, we're just going to look at some of the FBM. But again, we're looking at FBM sellers that are actually, have good ratings and good storefronts. So we don't just want to pick any. Like this storefront has no reviews. To me, that's a little bit of a red flag. It doesn't always mean that they're a bad storefront, but I'd like to see a more experienced seller who has more products on their storefront. And if they have, over 10 to 20 to 30 to 50, even to up to 100 reviews, chances are they've been selling on Amazon a while. They know how to find good products. We're not going to be looking at bad storefronts and wasting our time because that's the last thing we want to do is look through, a storefront that has 30 products and not one of them are even close to being good or profitable. So we can kind of decide in the first couple of products if that rest of that storefront's going to be good. And I'll show you what decisions I'm making to determine that. So let's look at this one. Has 8 reviews, almost 5 stars. So we'll just look at that for now. And basically all their products are going to come and look. They're selling all Nike, Puma, and Adidas. So we'll just look and sort by the Nike at first. And again, we're going to try to decide if this is a storefront worth looking into all 27 products. Or, after the first couple, we see, they really don't have that many good products. They're not buying these, leads that are worth purchasing. And then we can move on to a different storefront. So scroll down a little bit here. We can see this backpack listing. We can see back in, back to school season, this was up at $60, bottomed all the way out at 40. And now it's starting to creep back up towards the $50 range, FBA sellers at least. It's interesting, but I don't think we're finding backpacks for $15. And one thing also to look at is pay attention to the buy box price. Don't look at the storefront price because they're going to list it however they want to list it. Doesn't mean they're going to get the sale at 34 when everybody else is selling at 30, right? Or same thing, 23 for 16. They might just be holding to see if somebody goes out of stock because they're only profitable at $23.99, right? They're not profitable at 16, so they're not going to list it at 16 to sell. And they're going to wait and see if they can get sales. So if that's the type of storefront we find where they're just buying and holding, then maybe that's not something we want to look at right now. We can keep looking at different storefronts. So we see a lot of socks. Not my favorite storefront to see here with a bunch of socks, but we'll just keep looking here. Okay, 12 is going to, again, some of these things, when you see these products enough, you're going to know the max cost and be able to decide if it's even worth looking into right away. Right? If we see, a 6-pack listing and $24, $10 max cost, most of you that have sold socks in the past know that's going to be really hard to achieve. So we can skip over that type of product. $32, $14. Again, that's going to be a little bit low for something like that. We get a shoe listing, $40. Now we don't really know, off the top of my head, I don't know if that's going to be good enough, especially for this shoe, because there's so many different, shoe variations and colorways and different things like that. So let's look into the product here and just see if any of these variations sell. Because if it's a fast moving variation, we don't have to just look at this product or this variation that they're selling. We can look at all the variations because chances are there's going to be some, potentially better ones that we could find instead of just the one they found. So 62K rank, not horrible, but not amazing, right? That doesn't mean every variation is going to sell well. If we get a 1K rank in the shoes, Most of the variations that are, well, good sizes, the common sizes, and the common colors are going to sell really fast. Something like this, we got to be a little bit more selective, but let's go down to the variations tab just to confirm that we're looking at the best ones here. So we see that none of these have buy boxes, which is interesting. Doesn't mean that they're not going to sell, but one thing we notice is that, although this has 1,000 reviews, it also seems to have the steepest climb in the ratings history, and that's pretty important. That's kind of what I look at, right? The 1,000 reviews might not mean much if this is a flat line, right? So if we see like this product here, right? It's got 130 reviews, but it has not gone up in reviews once in the last 3 months. So maybe this doesn't actually sell. Maybe it sold a bunch, at some time, but it's currently not selling that well. And we can also just scroll all the way over and see that how long has this product been tracking, right? And that just means how long has this been a product on this listing, and how long has it been able to be getting reviews, right? When it's finally listed, it can get reviews. So this has been on Amazon for almost 1,500 days, which is, almost 5 years, and it's got 130 reviews. So you got to remember, when did these reviews come? We can see in the last 90 days, did not get one review there. 180 days, they got one, and then it got taken down for some reason, whatever that means. 365 days, we can see that, way back in December last year, it got a couple ratings, which is interesting, but, that's not what we care about right now. What we see that it's not currently selling that well. So just because it has 130 reviews, we want to see something that has, a rating that is going up. And even if it has reviews, that's even better, right? We see the reviews going up, an even better sign that it's selling really well. So we're going to stick to some of these variations here. But what I also want to do is we have to click in to see what the price is. I only have the buy box price. And if there's no buy box, then it won't show up, right? So we got to look into these. So we can see 8, 8.5, 7.5, 7. It's women's shoes. Those are the most common sizes, and those are usually the ones that sell the fastest. So we can click into some of these, and instead of going way down to the variations and sorting, I will just click through here so we can get a quick update on the price to see which ones, might have the highest buy box. So we can see there's 27 sellers selling for $70.48. Price looks pretty steady, and the offer count shot up recently, but it's been pretty steady over the last month or so. So hopefully this price doesn't really move a whole lot, but we're sticking right around that $70. So let's just see what this shoe is even selling for, see if we can get it profitably. So we have Revolution 5, right? That's what we want, Revolution 5. And we can see it's $45 at Nike.com with a code, which is a really good sign. So $45, right? That puts us only at a 10% ROI, but let's check out some of the other sizes to see, if that $45 price range gets us where we need. So what do we want the price to be a good ROI that we care about? So we can kind of play around with that now. So then when we click through, we can see, okay, it's not selling for 80 or whatever we want it to be, right? So let's just go 85 here. So 38%, right? We want to be around that 40%. So maybe 86. Okay, 40% minimum on shoes for me. That's kind of what I shoot for. Even though we're getting $18 profit, you get 1 or 2 returns in that $45, right? We got to sell at least 3 pairs just to achieve that $45. If you get a return, that's unfulfillable, which means you can't relist it on Amazon. It's not new anymore. So we don't want to make that mistake. So basically, we need to find a shoe that's going to be around $85, $86 buy box. So we can look at some of the other sizes, or maybe we can hover over them to see what prices are available here. But we can see, okay, so this 8.5 is $72 buy box. We go to the 9, and the 9 is 72. So all of these are really right around the same price range. 74 on the 7.5, and if we hover over the 7, 71. So they're all going to be right in that similar range. So we would need this shoe to be, closer to like $40. And if this is only 45, right, we need that Revolution 5. There's the Revolution 6 on sale at Nike, but that's not what we want. Kohl's has Revolution 6 on sale. And definitely if you're fine, even if you do find a good lead, here's another like bonus tip. If you find a lead that is really good on like say Nike.com, definitely still Google, right? If you find it on the first site you look at the other sites that are selling that, because if 4 other sites are all at the same cheap, profitable price, right? Maybe every site that sells this product is running a sale on it. Then you got to be careful how many you're buying, because you could, buy 20 from Nike.com, but turns out, it's selling on Nike and it's selling on Kohl's and Shop WSS and and Finish Line and wherever else they're selling this shoe, and they're all on sale at the same price, which means a lot of people are probably going to be able to find this profitably. And you just don't want to be involved with a product that's going to tank because 100 sellers found this because it's so easy to find. Now, if you found it on, you had to scroll a bunch to find this product, and then you finally found it, and you had to use a secret discount that you found through one of the discount code extensions, then maybe you can go a little bit deeper on it. But I would just be careful if you're finding it on every website has it profitably. So just a little bit of a tip there, but looks like we're not going to find this profitably. So we'll go back to the storefront and we will keep scrolling here. Again, I'm not sure I love this storefront, only because it's a lot of socks. And I don't know if it doesn't look like maybe they're merchant filling, but we're probably going to move on to another storefront unless we see something good here. But again, they don't have a ton of products. 27 Nike, they really don't have a huge storefront. So I'm going to move on anyway, because that's the goal here, is to get through as many products as we can. So we looked at the one FBM. This is another one who's FBMing for whatever reason. They don't have any reviews, so not sure why they're merchant filling. Here's something, 150 reviews. That's really good. And it's FBM. So maybe we'll have more luck with just a larger storefront, right? We want to get in front of more products here. So we can see 113 Nike, Converse, Calvin Klein, Adidas. So they have a bunch of different products that we can look at and hopefully find some profitably. So of course there's going to be the sock listings. If they're selling Nike and they don't have sock listings, are they really selling Nike? So, okay, we're going to skip over the sock listings just because, you can spend time looking at those. We want to find products that aren't the socks. We can see shoelaces from Converse, 62 cents. That's a little too cheap for us. $10.99 is the buy box, so we probably are going to avoid that. We got a Club Jogger that they have listed at 89. Buy box is at 49. A little bit of a red flag there. Looks like it just tanked very recently, or for some reason people had, the buy box way up at, this is not, I don't even know why they're listed at 89, but the highest buy box we've seen in the last 3 months is only like $66, $67. And then tanked down to 49, which is kind of where the buy box is currently at. They're listed at 89. They must have bought this a while ago, hoping to sell it at 89 at some point. And now they're just holding to see if they can get more money on it. So we skip that product for now. We can see a dry fit t-shirt for $21. Again, this storefront is not my favorite either, because it looks like their price is always higher than the buy box. So they're pricing for future price. We want someone who's pricing for current price. Although it doesn't hurt, we can look back at last year's buy box prices, during Christmas time. But if we can't find it profitably, then what's the point of purchasing? And again, sales might happen more in the next couple of weeks with Black Friday right around the corner. But we're hoping to still find products now that we can still sell in December profitably, and maybe even merchant will fill those. So, okay, we see a sneaker here. This is Converse, 52 max cost. Again, I'm not super familiar with Converse shoe prices. So let's just look at this product, open it up, and we can see if it's worth purchasing. Okay, so we have black, because we don't know if this is like one of the top selling variations. You can see the sale price, current buy box is $70. So we need this for 40. So we go to the variations tab, and then we are going to see which ones are actually selling. So this is going to be interesting on a listing like this. So it's sold a ton of times. It's a 7K rank. A lot of these are going to have a really high ratings count, but we're going to see, a mixed review on the ratings of what's happening in the last 3 months. So that's just something to keep in mind. See something like this where we see that steady incline. That's a really good sign. This product got a lot of reviews in the past, but it doesn't look like it's growing in reviews all that much as of lately. So maybe that's something to avoid, right? So we can stick to something that's actually growing in ratings and reviews, and it's going to be, that black and white standard color. And again, don't focus on the total number of ratings, just focus on what the trend of the ratings is over the last 3 months. And that's going to really give you a better sense of how fast it's selling lately, compared to just sorting by the ratings total. Because again, this one has 700 ratings. Doesn't look like it's getting reviewed a bunch lately, but this one only 200 ratings, but it's getting rated a ton, which means this thing is selling really fast as of late. So we're going to look at this one. It's going to be, we're looking at 10 women here. This one looks like it's 8 women here. So we'll look at the 10, 8, maybe even the 7, and just see what prices we're looking at. So hopefully we can get this profitably. So here we want to see who's selling this. So there are 15 sellers in the listing. It looks like $70 is kind of that range we want to sell this at. Buy box came around at 60, but we see that steady price at 70. So hopefully we can sell this at 70, which means we got to get it for 40. Let's search Google. All right, so we can search Google here. We see Snipes 3250. Okay, so this might actually work for us if we get the right sizing, right? There's a men and women's size. So it's kind of like a unisex shoe here. So we're at the 3250. If they have the right size for us, then I think we might be okay here. So we got, ooh, there's not much in sale here, but we have the 8.5. Let's see what the 8.5. Yeah, see, they don't have the 8.5 in this colorway. So actually, we're kind of out of luck on that one, but let's see if any other sites have this profitably here. So we want the Ox Low. So we're just going to keep looking here. We can see this is what we need. Only $50 at Shop WSS. That's not going to be good enough for us. Let's see. Yeah, we're really not finding this cheap enough to want to purchase for the business here. So one thing we can do though is we can see like Converse has these for 60. Kids version for 35. That's not what we want. Shop WS has them. So what we can do, we can see that, you know, this one's selling for the $70. Pay attention to the sites that are selling these because, you know, in a week or two when Black Friday sales hit, maybe Converse runs a, you know, 30% off on their shoes. And, you know, then we're actually going to be profitable on something like this. So if we went, you know, 60 times 0.7 puts us at $42. We're getting a little bit closer. You know, maybe they run even bigger discounts, or maybe Shop WSS, you know, at that $50, 59, let's see, 50.99. Maybe they can go even lower than that, right? Maybe they can go another 20% below that. And then we're getting even closer. So some of these sites you really want to pay attention to see, you know, which ones are currently running discounts and which ones we think could run discounts in a couple weeks. So something to pay attention to. Looks like we're not going to find this one profitably, so we're going to keep moving on. Let's keep scrolling here. A lot of Converse shoe and Nike socks. So again, maybe not the greatest listing to look at. Men's running short. Okay, there's something we're looking at here. So they're listed way too high. Again, this storefront is priced for the future, not priced to sell currently, which, you know, maybe that's not the business model you're looking at. We want to sell now, but then continue to sell into December. So, but max cost $26 based on the $49 buy box. So let's open this product and see what we got. So we have, let's look at the variations. So this one's actually increasing and the offer count's going down. This is a great product to look at. We can see the rank is slightly going down too over the last like 2 weeks. That's a great sign, right? That this product is increasing in speed, and then the price is going up. So this is like a home run product of, you know, buy box price going up, rank going down, and offer count going down. So again, we're looking at, since it doesn't have a ton of ratings, we just want to see ones that are increasing in ratings as of lately. And we can see that, you know, it seems like the black side colorway is the ones going up as of recent. So we can see that, you know, the black medium's going up, large is going up. This one is XL, has gone up just barely recently, but it is going up recently. That's a good sign. And that's maybe the only ones we want to focus on. And also those buy boxes are just a little bit higher. So like the black large is 46.40. So we're going to open that one. That's kind of giving us the best chance here. Actually, it's 49.90. That's what you know, that's what someone is currently getting the buy box for. So, you know, and we can see that if we zoom in here, it's jumping around a little bit. So it maybe is, you know, maybe keep only updates every 30 minutes. And then the current buy box jumps up to 49. And, you know, it's actually 46 from before. So if we can get it for 49 as an FBA seller, that would be awesome. So what we can do is move this to 49.99 because that's what it's currently selling for. And then hopefully we can get this for $26. So let's look and see. Is this the same thing? We have Flex Stride Black Running, Flex Stride 5-inch. We wanted the 7-inch. Okay, so this one's a little bit shorter than what we want. Challenger 7-inch. We need that Stride Flex 7-inch. So if this was the same product here, we would definitely be profitable, 25.48. But again, we need that 7-inch, and maybe we just don't find that here. Would be cool if we did. These are similar, but that's on Amazon. Okay, so let's keep looking. Let's just scroll a little bit. Challenger 5-inch. Okay, Challenger 7-inch, not the same thing. Again, we need that Flex Stride, and then sometimes it doesn't transfer over the whole title all the way because it's trying to insert a quotation and then it screws it up. So I just like to type in inch or IN and then redo the search, see if anything different pops up. Doesn't always work, but sometimes it'll bring up something different. So we have the Stride 7-inch here with Nike, but maybe they're out of that black size. But let's just take a look in case they're just not showing us, or maybe it's not on sale. So there is 25% off sales, some good cash back. Take advantage of that if you can. We see the black size here. So the price isn't what we want it to be now. 25% off of 55 is probably not going to get us close enough, but maybe this goes on sale at some point. Plus they keep the 25% off for Black Friday. Then we might be looking okay. So again, 55 times 25%, that's not going to get us, there. But if they bring that black size, right, the black size down to like this price, like a 38% off, or maybe some of these other ones are even on sale. Looks like that 38% is that percentage that they're giving off here. So what we can do is look and see, okay, $55, maybe they put it at the $33.99, and then we still get the 75%, 25% off. And then now we're profitable at 34%, $8.75. So that's, a product that we want to look for. So we can actually go and put this in our seasonal spreadsheet, Google Sheet, export it. It's going to look at all the data. And then what we actually should have done before that is type in that we found this at Nike, right? We can copy this URL, paste it in there, save it. And then we want to add a note, right? Watch for discount paired with 25% off coupon. And that's what I write in my notes section, because I want to know exactly why I added this to the sheet. I don't want to have to spend time searching or looking into the product and wondering why I added to the sheet. I want to watch for the discount paired with the 25% off coupon. You can actually even describe, if you want, how we even got the cost price. And I could say, other products, other variations were discounted 38%. Then we added the 25% off to get that $25 price. And then, that's something to pay attention to. One other thing we can do is if we do think that it's going to go on sale Black Friday, what happened to this product last year? And we can see this is kind of a newer product. So, it wasn't on sale during Christmas last year. But we can see, at least currently, that the trend is when the offer count is lower, the price starts to creep up. And then when that offer count goes up, the price goes down. So just pay attention to that when it does come Black Friday. If we see that offer count scooting way up, as Black Friday is happening or even beforehand, then just be a little weary on how many you're purchasing, because we do know that the price does go down when the offer count shoots up. So something to keep in mind. Let's look at a couple more products. I'm actually going to go to a different storefront just so we can get in front of a few more products here. And then we'll wrap up the video. So, okay, so we looked at that FBM storefront. Maybe we'll look at one of the FBA storefronts here just to see what we got. We're going to skip through some of these that don't have any reviews or that have too low of reviews. 10,000 way too many, right? We don't want to go too high because we might run into some wholesale storefronts or a private label. 600 still a lot. Takes a long time to get those reviews. So 74, that's like right in the sweet spot, right? Takes definitely a couple of years of selling on Amazon to generate up to 74 reviews. So let's hope that they don't have a ton of products in their storefront here, but let's just look and see if we can find anything that's worth. They got, mostly socks for Nike, which isn't great, but they still have a ton of reviews. So maybe and they do have books. So maybe they're a bookseller. So let's actually look at a different storefront here. Again, we want something that's right in this is perfect. Praiseway LLC. We're looking at, man, they just don't have a ton of products. I don't understand how these storefronts can get that many reviews without products. So we'll just keep looking, right? It took me less than 10 seconds to determine if that storefront was worth looking into or not. And that's how long I hope it takes you guys, because you need to be getting through these products as quick as possible. I mean, I could probably, if I wasn't filming a video and explaining everything, I could get through these 30 storefronts probably in under 30 minutes. Like, it could be that quick. I can get through some storefronts in under 30 seconds. Some might take me 5 minutes. But either way, I'm getting through these products really quickly to help me get in front of as many products as possible. So that's really the goal here. So I can get as many products as possible. So 59 reviews, that's pretty good here. They saw a lot of Nike products, 622, but that's kind of what we want to see. So we're actually going to look at some of these products and then see what their charts were last year, because that's the last step here that we haven't really been doing. But on this product, we're going to look at what happened, during Q4 last year. What happened to the offer count? Did the price go up? Did it go down? What happens to the sales ranks? We're going to look a year ago, and we can see that this product actually wasn't selling all that quick before Q4, but as we get into, Black Friday and December, this product actually picked up in velocity quite a bit. So we went all the way from, 20K rank all the way down to, sub 5K, and then the price shot up too because the offer count's a little bit lower. Must have went on sale mid-December, and then a bunch of people jumped on the listing, and then the price tanked a little bit. I mean, tanked is relative. It went from 115 down to 92. Not horrible, right? Still could have been profitable at $92, but the velocity starts to lose a little bit here. I mean, 10K is still great, right? Don't get me wrong, but it's not selling like a 3K rank. I mean, this thing could sell 5 to 7,000 times, in this, 1 month here, just based on how fast this stuff is moving at this rank. And these people are, I mean, the sellers that bought, and are selling here, once they sell out, man, these other sellers that are getting the buy box way up at the $120, they're making so much money on this because everybody else, they bought it probably expecting to sell at 105, and then they can bump their buy box $15. They're making an extra $15 just because some other sellers that were priced lower sold out of their stock. So that's a crazy thing to think about. We're looking at an $89 buy box here. It says 79, so we're actually going to change it to 89. Let's see if we can actually find this profitably. And if not, again, it looks really like a really good product, at least last December. So it's just something we're going to keep an eye on here. Stay away from DHK. It's all fake product. So we just want to make sure we got the right thing. Elite Hoops, Pro Basketball. It's black and gray. Again, we might not be able to find this one specifically, but that is just a drawstring. So, and again, maybe you got to change up the title because the title is not always exact. And sometimes just deleting a bunch of stuff helps you get in front of the right product. Here we go. So we can see that $79 is kind of where this one is selling at. But if we were at the 120, okay, still not quite profitable. So we need this price to be a little bit lower for it to be actually worth purchasing. And it looks like any site that is selling it is selling it for really expensive. So something to keep an eye on, right? In case, maybe they go on sale or Nike goes on sale or the site does a 20% off, because then we get a little bit closer, right? If we did the 79 times 0.8, what's is that, 63? Now we're looking a little bit better. I mean, if it does sell super fast, $22 profit, like that's really good. So definitely always look at some of these products. You really want to be looking at what happened during last year's December, right? What did the price do? What did the offer count do after Black Friday, right? Here's the nice thing. We see that not a lot of movement in the offer count right after Black Friday. So we see Black Friday was probably right in this range here, and the offer count didn't spike like it is kind of doing here. So that means that not a lot of people bought this, or maybe it didn't really go on sale, but it was still profitable enough. And then some people sold out of their stock, the price shot up, and these people are just making so much profit. So that's something you want to do on a lot of your listings because it's only going to help you make that much more money. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. I'm going to continue to put out some more sourcing videos so you guys can be successful this Q4 and make as much profit as you possibly can selling your products on Amazon. I'll see you guys in the next video.